since 2014. I went back the last 10 years. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So the last decade.
Junior year of high school.
Yeah. The last decade, there has been 8 first-round tight ends taken in the last decade. Some more than others. With the highlights being Kyle Pitts in 2021. He went 4th. And then Eric Ebron actually went in the top 10. And something I wanted to highlight is Tyler Warren versus USC. He had 17 receptions, 224 yards, a touchdown, which was like an absolute circus catch. He threw some balls. Who knows what else he did? Quite literally, if it was not for Tyler Warren on Saturday, Penn State did not stand a snowball's chance in hell to get back into that game. Like, it's not even a joke.
They would have lost for sure.
Their running backs looked bad. Everybody looked bad, except the fact that Tyler Warren, like, literally just played out of his mind and was the best player on the field. And I was thinking about this, and I was looking at some of the players, like, in the draft this year. He has to be the best prospect in the draft from, like, an offensive weapon perspective. It's him, and then it's him, the running back from Boise. Like,
Genty.
I'm looking at both. Like, I think Genty is obviously like better, but like I don't think he'll go like I think that there's like a real possibility that like in the top 10 this year there's going to be a running back and a tight end taken. Why isn't Tyler Warren a top 10 pick right now? Like, why wouldn't he be?
I think only reason would be those teams in the top 10 have a more immediate need than a tight end would be my only guess.
But we think that, and then like you look back and like
Brock Bowers was where?
He was 15th. He's way better than Brock Bowers. I don't care what anyone says. He's way better than Brock Bowers.
He's incredible. I mean, he actually might be the best tight end to come out of Penn State, and they've had some really good tight ends come out of Penn State.
Who's better than him?
Exactly.
Like I'm not like I feel like I'm not like I feel like that's not a hot take.
No,
like at all. I was looking. Well, the reasoning why is I was looking at some of the wide receivers who were coming out this upcoming year, and he's better than just all of the available wide receivers. So I'm thinking like if you need a pass catcher, you're going to go with him over the wide receivers who are available in this upcoming draft class. I think so. And then now it's just pretty much like, where does he land? Because I don't know, dude. Like, I just don't like I said, highlight of the 8 first-round picks, tight ends in the last decade, one has gone in the top 5. So I'm not saying that, but I think that I think he might be a lock to be a top 10 pick this year. He's just better than everybody else.
I mean, I think, like I said, I think the only reason why he wouldn't is because those teams in the top 10 probably end up going defensive end, offensive lineman, quarterback.
We thought that last year, though, and then a defensive end didn't go until 15th.
But we did see, and then wide receiver. So he could easily slot into one of the wide receiver picks this, like where a wide receiver would get picked this year to a team that maybe is looking good on the offensive line, but they need a tight end. I mean, let me see like what the current draft order is right now. But I mean, you make a valid.
I've just never seen a player dominate. Like he like
it was
dominated.
Insane.
He like from the tight end position dominated from like the way that like a running back dominates or like a really good quarterback. Like if it wasn't for him, like this past season, what would have Penn or not this past season, this past week, what would have Penn State done? Like Penn State would have been screwed.
Yeah, he's been their best player by far this entire season. And he's just an absolute mismatch issue from a defensive perspective. Like you have to legitimately put a corner on him to cover him.
Real quick, the draft order right now. I'm just gonna read the top 10. New England Patriots 1, Carolina Panthers 2, Cleveland Browns 3, Dolphins 4, Jags 5, Tennessee 6, Raiders 7th, New York Giants 8, Rams 9, Bengals 10th. First off, if Tyler Warren lands on the Rams,
that's who I was going to say. I was going to say the Rams.
McVay would be ridiculous, but listen, absolutely ridiculous. Not saying this is going to happen, but like the Patriots are desperate of like a pass catcher. Like I know that he's not going to go first, but
they
they
need
also
offensive line
I know
so
they need a
badly.
line, but still, this obviously isn't going to be the exact way it shakes out. But I mean, I can see one of these teams like biting on a special talent at tight end, especially in a weak quarterback draft.
I mean, I don't think the Bengals stay where they are. I think New Orleans could legitimately take a tight end. I think the Rams could legitimately take a tight end. I think Tennessee probably needs a quarterback. New England goes O-line. Cleveland.
What?
Okay.
Okay. What? Tennessee does not need a quarterback.
Sorry.
He doesn't. Tennessee does not need he's the best quarterback in the league.
Okay, you're right. People forget he went to Penn State too. Didn't even start. But yeah, there's probably 4 out of these 10 teams that could take a tight end at 10 in the top 10 spot.
Hey, just don't.
We're monitoring. Yeah, he's amazing. I'm glad he's on my team, and he backpacked Penn State this weekend. It was one of the craziest performances that I've seen from a tight end
from anybody.
How long?
From anybody. 17 receptions, 224 yards, a touchdown. He probably had rushing yards too that I'm forgetting about. He probably had passing yards that I'm forgetting about. Like what? It's crazy. Like that's stuff that you see. Like, I don't even know who, like people who are like Heisman, who are competing for the Heisman, put up stat lines like that.
Yeah. Kodolnicki's done a phenomenal job. Like having the offense play through him.
It's crazy that's what they have to do, but their wide receivers just aren't very good.
But like it's crazy because it's a tight end, but also it shouldn't, like when you are a team, you want to get your best players the football. The best players on their offense are Nick Singleton, Katron Allen, and Ty Warren by far. So you want to play and get the ball into those guys' hands as much as you can, and then you'll need your wide receivers to step up here and there, and they stepped up in critical spots at the end of that game. But majority of it was Ty Warren for sure.
Yeah, if he didn't bring him back in the game, there would have never been an option to do those things. But something definitely shaping out for this upcoming draft is just like there are some special, unique like positions that people are like red X. Like we're done drafting running backs in the top 10. Like why would we draft a tight end in the top 10? But these players are just so special that they're already starting to like pique my interest of like, why can't they be top 10 picks is pretty much where my head's at right now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like if you're looking at it as from a wide receiver perspective, like a guy like Ty Warren in your offense is going to give you such a mismatch problem in the NFL because he's going to be able to get open against linebackers. And he's, from what I have seen thus far, he's been pretty good blocking and he can legitimately run the football. Now, I don't know how often they're going to have him lining up behind the quarterback in the NFL. Probably not nearly as much as he's asked to do at Penn State, but having that option and having a guy that you could line up in the backfield is nice to have.